everybody, welcome to Midas Letter Daily. We changed the name from Raw, because we're no longer raw. We're now polished, suave and debonair, Lotharionistic, one might say.
Lothario.
And I'm here, as per usual, with my good friend and co-host,
Weekly visitor.
Weekly visitor.
From the...
one of the few people that passes through the gates of Omicron hell
from the
without issue.
From the Northwest.
Triple vaxxed Ed Milewski.
Hospitals are weighted down.
Yeah, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. There's tents outside some hospitals. Tents outside some of the hospitals, outside some of the ICU units.
Yeah.
It's a tough time.
No, today we're going to talk about our commodity mix. Yes, we're going to talk about the reason for being.
You know, natural gas was up 13% yesterday, down 9% today. Now that's volatility.
That's a spike.
There's
a spike and a drop.
Spike.
That's the essence of volatility.
But oil reserves apparently are at 4-year lows. You know, there's some funny things going on with this energy thing, you know. It was 84 to 63, now back to 82.
Well, you want to talk about funny things going on with energy. Look what happened in Kazakhstan. The price of natural gas spiked because all of the miners who were mining in China moved to Kazakhstan. 12 to 16% of the bit rate of the hash rate of the Bitcoin mining complex was based in Kazakhstan.
So that's sucking up energy.
That's sucking up the energy. They have rolling blackouts there, and the price of energy is source of people.
Wow!
Bitcoin is kicking people out of their houses now. The reason it crashed is because it just demonstrates right there the vulnerability of cryptocurrency. Yep. Let's start with a look at a
Bitcoin. And so look, there's no such thing as a perfect perpetual machine. In other words, there's a fly in the ointment now, right? Energy causes a lot of energy.
Crypto. There we go. Bitcoin.
BTC.
Coinbase Croak. Look at that.
What the hell's that?
That's there you go. This is.
That's not it.
This is
1
hour low.
Yeah, 1 hour.
So
1 hour.
Bitcoin's selling off after recovering. So this is where the internet was shut off in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
This is the price of Bitcoin crashing as the world realizes, even the crypto enthusiasts realize that, my God, there's a serious vulnerability here. It might be decentralized in terms of nobody owns it, but they are at the mercy of the centralized power grid when it comes to nation by nation. So, you know, there's one of the reasons why crypto is going to go to zero. There's one of the reasons why the justification...
Maybe zero is a little too extreme.
Well, if the G7 outlaws the use of cryptocurrencies as legal tender, which is really, that's the big question now. Is crypto going to remain a legal tender? People are trading in it. In China, you're not allowed to use crypto as legal tender. In El Salvador, the central bank is saying, hey, crypto is our legal tender.
Jesus.
So you've got this huge dichotomy as wide as the gap gets on difference of opinion, and that is indeed what makes a market. But you know, and here's the thing: I'm opening a crypto account. I'm going to start buying crypto. I've decided.
Wait, how much are you going to spend it? And
I'm going to put about 50 grand in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So buy what? What size of tranche? What's your size? You're going to take bites?
Yeah,
are you going to shoot the wad right away, or you're going to
No, I'm going to
nibble?
put 10 into Bitcoin. I'm going to put 10 into Ethereum. I'm going to put 10 into Luna, 10 into Chainlink, and probably...
Chainlink?
Chainlink, yeah.
What about that chainsaw you got out there?
Oh, the chainsaw. They don't have a cryptocurrency for chainsaws yet.
Well, it would run on Chainlinks.
I'm going to exploit the volatility in crypto.
Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, well...
I'm going to buy some, and I'm going to sell it.
You're telling me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to add to the misery of Kazakh people everywhere by participating.
We got the red line here. Is that red line? Look at these red ones here, right?
That means it's going down.
Yeah, but maybe it's a buying opportunity. Buy. There you go.
Buy on the dip.
Let's buy some right now.
Don't be a dip.
Come on, go in here, buy some.
No, I don't have the account opened up. You got to jump.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, let's just see. I got a funny feeling.
Okay. You want to see?
The higher rates.
Look at this. I even started a crypto
page.
A crypto watch list.
Oh, watch list.
So look at Ethereum USD.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ethereum follows Bitcoin. Here's Luna.
Yeah, you just heard about all this stuff, I guess, eh?
No, I've been following it since 2022.
Really?
Yeah.
That's 8 o'clock last night. 2022.
days. 13 days now.
Well, you know.
No, but seriously, I think we're going to hit these levels here.
Yeah, and then spring back.
And then I think we're going to go, as my good friend Martin Bezora says, who is actually in Kazakhstan as we speak. He married a Kazakh lady. He's in Kazakhstan. I'm hoping to get him to give us a report directly from the streets. He's a little nervous. He's not sure what he can say in Kazakhstan without incurring some of the wrath of the Russian secret police.
Ugh.
So he might not want to make a comment.
You're going to try and talk to him?
Well, I was going to ask him, but I think I might not.
I don't know if you want the Midas Letter involved in this.
Why not? Come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they know what we look like. Look, I think that, it's not going to go. It's going to disappear. There's going to be lots of volatility. You should be able to trade your way into a fortune. That's what I think.
Thank you, Ed. That's better.
Because I'm going to hit you up for a big fat loan.
Loan.
Yeah,
Like
trade away.
Don't lend each other money.
No.
You
that's right. Just gift me half the money.
Right. I don't want to try and start making a list of people who I got to try.
What about this guy Jamie Dimon, who's one of the biggest bankers in the world,
CEO of J.P. Morgan,
and which is considered the one of the Cadillac banks,
which is arguably, there are a handful of what they call white shoe banks: Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Rothschild,
right.
A couple of Italians, a couple of Swiss.
He said on the big business channel he'd be surprised if the Fed only raised 4 times this year. He would be surprised. In other words, he thinks the economy is so strong that it'll absorb these rate increases that we need to maybe put a dam.
Let me get this straight. As a tier 1 bank, he has to buy. He has no choice but to participate in the U.S. Treasury auctions. Correct?
I'm learning something every day.
Jerome Powell's recent statements this week during his bid for a second term as chairman of the Fed.
But he was put in a while back, wasn't he?
Who? Powell?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
No, but for the second time.
He had his Senate hearing was Wednesday.
To come in?
Yesterday.
Okay, so they approved it because the president...
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
He could run a second term Tuesday. But during that speech to the Senate committee, they said, well, what are you going to do if inflation keeps going? And he says, we're just going to raise rates because the economy can handle it. And right away...
Well, there you go.
But right away, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, Yahoo Finance trot out the CEOs of the Fortune 500 banks, insurance companies, and they have one message. The message is this: the economy is so strong that we can easily afford to raise rates and dial back stimulus. What happened on Tuesday? As after all these guys came out, the stock market roared higher.
Roared?
Yeah, roared.
Like a lion.
Roar. Well, let's take a look at...
in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Let's go back to our main watch list here. Let's take a look at the S&P 500.
Yeah.
It was 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Let's go to the... We'll want to get to a... we'll go with the 1 hour look.
Well, 1 hour. I mean,
here,
what am I looking at here? Up and down.
This is 9:30 on January 10th.
Okay, 10th.
Yeah. By 10 o'clock,
okay,
this is when Jerome Powell finished speaking. And this is when Jamie Dimon and all of the other CEOs of the Fortune 500 went on CNBC, Wall Street Journal, all of the usual financial channels. And this is what the stock market did for the rest of the day. Roared higher. And now, here we are, the 11th, trade sideways.
Yeah.
The 13th is today. It's trading down. Okay, everybody, back to your jobs. Thank you for dutifully appearing on national financial channels to parrot the remarks of the Fed chairman to justify his announcement that he's going to continue. So the bottom line is you have a series of promoters basically all chirping in on the same stock, which is the U.S. economy, and saying that it's going higher. We can afford this. Even though homeowners are about to see a serious bump in their mortgage rates.
You know, if let's say we went to 275 from 175, which is basically 1%.
Yeah.
If let's say you have a $300,000 mortgage, okay, and there's people that have a hell of a lot more, but let's say 300,000. So 1% on 300,000.
Whoa. if the prime rate goes up 1%, if the central bank rate goes up 1%, you think your mortgage is only going to go up 1%?
Well, yeah, I think for a while it'll just match. It'll match
For a while.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
20
Well,
minutes.
Look where they were last year. They were a lot lower last year than they are this year, mortgage rates.
True that, yo.
So the point I'm saying is it's going to start biting into your money. More
Well,
interest.
As one guy said, that the Fed has just announced that you've taken a 7% pay cut.
Yeah.
Because what they're saying is that this inflation is transitory and that 4 rate hikes is going to be enough to bring it back under control. But
Doesn't work that way.
well, exactly. And the reduction of stimulus. So you've got all these factors that equate to me, by the withdrawal of stimulus simultaneously with 4 rate hikes, you're basically creating a catalyst for stock market implosion, which in and of itself has a negative impact on all economic sectors because our collective sentiment is based on what the stock market's doing. So even if you're a taxi driver these days, you might be looking at Bitcoin, and it was brought to my attention by numerous talking heads that even the cryptos are correlating to the stock market lately. So you need just to have a good day, just to have everybody in a good mood. You got to have the stock market doing its thing in a good way.
Well, look at the Fed spends money or starts doing whatever they do, expansion, and the stock market goes up. The stock market goes up. They talk a little bit about, and now it's getting choppy, right? It's already looking choppy.
Yeah. And commodities going higher.
And if we just quickly,
Okay.
look at this. This is where it broke down. Look at that big drop. And maybe we only get back part of the way, and we start having trouble.
Right.
And maybe sometime in here we break that level, and then it looks different again. You know,
What, you mean the S&P goes lower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I say. I think we're
Okay.
You know.
So here's why I think that even Jerome Powell is kind of watching the commodities sector right now and going, that's not what I expected to happen. Okay, because here's copper. After
Copper
Jerome
had a
Powell
big
stopped talking, right here, look where this is where Jerome Powell stops talking, and what happens? Inflation rears its ugly head in a very dramatic fashion. Like this is actually starting to look like a dragon's den.
You start thinking fire breathing.
Yeah, look at what lumber did.
I know.
After Jerome Powell started talking, here's where he stopped. Let's see. Here's where he stopped talking.
Yeah.
And lumber reared its ugly head. Take a look at gold. Gold is the enemy of U.S. dollar interest. Gold is the enemy of the Fed. And Jerome Powell stopped talking, and look what gold did nothing. Until Jamie Dimon stopped talking, then gold took off.
Look, you can go backwards and you can create a scenario that fits your ideology. The point is this, it just seems as though commodities are higher,
Yeah.
interest rates are higher,
Yeah.
but it seems like the Fed's maybe a little behind the curve and commodities are moving away too fast and they're trying to slow it down, but they don't have their foot on the brake yet, but they're gonna have to. It's gonna happen, but it's not gonna.
What happens?
I don't know.
So let's go way back to 2014, 2015, when then Fed Chairman Janet Yellen suggested, back then it was Ben Bernanke. So Ben Bernanke said, you know what, we're going to start tapering. And what happened? The stock market fell right out of bed.
Yeah.
And they stopped tapering and they started stimulating again. And interest rates went even lower.
And they like that.
Well, so basically what the Fed says today is not what the Fed is going to say in 3 weeks'
That's
time.
true.
Especially
it depends
the
on
immediate response of commodities and alternative assets like
Yeah.
gold is to
Yeah.
roar higher. So this is why...
You know what they said today? They said 15% of what you look for in a grocery store isn't there because of bottlenecks and supply problems and all these different problems. 15%. Now this is a U.S. channel, but
actually, I saw a TikTok yesterday. A trucker in southern Ontario had posted this thing where he was loading up 65,000 dead chickens that all had to be euthanized because Maple Lodge processing facility was shut down due to COVID. So these 65,000 chickens were gassed and were being torched because there's nobody to process them. Waste of and the trucker was saying, what a waste of meat. What a waste of meat. So, I mean, there you have it.
Yeah.
There's the direct economic impact.
No, there's some funny things.
How is that funny?
Festering.
You're
not
laughing
funny,
at the death
funny,
of 65,000
not funny,
poor chickens?
Not funny, ha-ha. You know, funny, strange, or funny, weird. You know what I mean? Oh, that's funny.
Weird. Like
a weirdo. You know? Oh,
Like a
funny.
weirdo.
Oh, you're acting real funny.
that guy's a weirdo.
What funny?
Weirdo.
You funny boy.
Anyways, there was a question that while we're on the topic, we weren't on the topic, but now we are on the topic. I want to get back to some of the questions we didn't answer from our audience.
Yeah.
I answered them in my private. I did a solo show.
Solo?
A lap dance, if you will. I did a veritable
Lap dance.
A veritable.
And I hope I hope I wasn't the pole.
No, you weren't the pole, Edward.
Jesus.
You were the pole lock.
Or the pole vault.
So the question was there going to be any...
Look at this. Kim Kardashian.
Was there going to be any backlash to celebrities endorsing cryptocurrencies and NFTs? And this just came across the wire yesterday. Actually, wait a second.
Yeah, I think I saw that yesterday.
Yeah, so here it is.
Look at this.
Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather sued by investors over alleged crypto scam. The lawsuit claims that investors who purchased Ethereum Max between May 14 and June 17, 2021, suffered losses as a result of the celebrity's conduct. Now, to me that's interesting because of the 2,000 plus cryptocurrencies quoted on CoinCap.io or Coinbase or Binance, they say they have a saying in crypto, and for you crypto people who are, they're going to say you're just cluing into this now, but no, it's just that we don't like to say the word shitcoin that much because, you know, it sounds a bit crass coming from a couple of sophisticated dudes like Edward and myself.
Yeah, shitcoins.
We don't want to say shit like that all the time.
No.
Then it's like we're swearing all the time.
How about dung coins?
Yeah, we sound like students. But anyways, the sheer volume of NFTs that come out trading or get dropped, as they call it, and go to zero within 48 hours, like shitcoins are far more abundant than crypto coins at this point in the history of cryptocurrencies just in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So this kind of headline, like, it's like, really, this is news? It's like NBC has just come out because there's celebrities involved.
Oh.
So otherwise, if there's no celebrity endorsement, it's like, yeah, you can, it's fine. You guys just, but we need to make an example of a couple of celebrities because we don't want celebrities hitching their wagon to these shit coins because at some point there's going to be a collective pulling out of the rug from the feet of the crypto industry, and they don't want the celebrities. So they're making a little example here ahead of the central bank digital currencies, as Ed and I have been saying, or is it just me? They've been saying as soon as central bank digital currencies are ready for the rollout, then they're going to pull the rug out from underneath.
You know, they can't make it disappear overnight, though, because it'd be too devastating.
But if you make cryptocurrencies as a category ineligible for trade as legal tender, that's not going to go to zero overnight, but it might take a week? Like, that's like saying, 3X shares are worthless.
I know, but there's a difference. 3X was worth $50 million.
But
this is worth a couple of trillion or more.
So typically, assets that are deemed scams they're delisted before they go to zero. So it's a metaphor to say it goes to zero. Nothing goes to zero because it's always delisted before it goes to zero, which is essentially the equivalent of going to zero because you can't trade it for love nor money. So I don't know. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, crazy world.
Let's talk about Apple.
The question is that a double top? There you go, back in January.
Oh, here.
Here, there, no, back over.
Back there?
No,
over here. There?
Those there and
here,
there.
Here.
There, no.
Here. There to there.
There to there. The two top red ones. Okay, you see they both got into the highest area they've ever been in, and they sold off. Yeah. That's why they're red.
That's resistance.
Yeah, well, there you go. Now, if it's rolling over, you'd expect this level in here to break down. And that could happen anytime. So People are watching this shit.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out the other day that the main trend line of the S&P, of the NASDAQ has broken a very powerful trend line.
Yeah.
And now it went back up,
Yeah.
but he said it's done something it hasn't done in 15 years or something like that.
Right.
Or maybe whatever. Hey, who knows?
Who knows?
But if they print more money, it'll probably go higher, but it looks like they're not going to print money because they're afraid of inflation.
Well, okay, so riddle me this. The Fed telegraphs that it's going to give you 3 rate hikes in 2022.
4, I think.
4 rate hikes, sorry. And right away, the Fed rate is at 173 basis points. So
The 10-year is at 170.
Very.
Yeah, 173.
Right now.
That's the 10-year.
Yeah. So is that like what happened there?
Well,
it's like here's the rate hike right away. We're just going to put the rate hike.
Well, they sort of, it gets built into the program, right? And you get used to it. And then money decides if it's safe to take money out of bonds, which means yields go up, right? You sell a bond, price goes down, yield goes up. Mm-hmm. And so there's a million different factors, but maybe the era of cheap money is finally coming to an end because everything comes to an end.
I'm not going to come.
No, but look at rates have been going down forever. They've been going down since, I think, 81.
81.
40 years.
40 years.
Coincidentally, the highest CPI numbers in 40 years. And here we are,
Nice.
interest rates, finally. So that maybe that's all you need to know.
Okay, that's a good point. So here's the thing that Jerome Powell mentioned is that he felt that supply chain issues were going to rectify themselves in 2022. And the same day that he said that, the Wall Street Journal reported that China and COVID-19 lockdowns have hit factories, ports, and the latest knock to the supply chain. So 2 things demonstrated here. A, it doesn't matter what Jerome Powell says when 90% of the stuff we buy comes from China. Because he doesn't really, that's the one place where what the Fed says doesn't really matter, is in China. Because China...
It looks like there's 2 places in the world where this happens. The ones in blue, in Britain and in China, because of the same color.
Good point, Edward.
I'm just saying, hey.
I don't know why are those there?
I don't know. It's
That
like,
makes no sense. Anyways, the point is that the supply chain issues are not going to be rectified by the Fed. Supply chain issues are going to be partially remedied by a return to maximum workforce when COVID ends.
Right.
And so we know that COVID's going to slow down in the spring in the Northern Hemisphere because flu season ends when warmer weather comes along. It diminishes.
This is another flu. Is this basically what you're telling me, in a sense?
Well, I'm just saying that the pattern of the coronavirus in this phase, or the last 3 years,
matches the flu phase.
New variants emerge.
Yeah.
Is flu season.
Maybe the old flus they're not working anymore.
The old flus get replaced by the new flus.
They flew away.
They're floozies. Just like a floozy. Here today, gone tomorrow. But anyway, so the point is that this summer we're going to see the retreat of
the retreat
of flu season.
Could be a movie. The retreat of flu season.
Ooh.
The retreat.
Isn't that like the Alamo?
The retreat.
Anyways, the point is that there's going to be a new variant come next flu season, and chances are there's going to be a whole new round of coronavirus as flu season approaches come September. As has been the pattern over the last 3 years, all of the optimistic language coming from the leaders of our countries and banks notwithstanding. Because, Jesus, boys, okay, it's one thing to say, boy, I sure wish Corona would end. It's another thing to say, you know what, Corona's going to end just because I'm tired of it, and we're all tired of it, so it's going to come to an end.
Well, you know what? That's what people are saying. That's the power of the media. Like they were saying, you know what? You know how to get rid of this? We'll just say it's disappeared. They stop talking about it, and they say,
so the power of the pen is greater than the power of the sword.
What was the thing that Marshall McLuhan said?
The media is the message?
The media is the...
Come on, that's on bordering on cliche.
You know what? We were talking about that in my grade 12 English class. The
You
media.
remember that?
We went to the library.
remember grade 12
We went to the
class?
library. We went to the
They
library
had schools back
to
then?
interview there was somebody went to interview about the Marshall McLuhan thing.
No shit.
The media is the.
Why is it at Marshall McLuhan? I mean, back then, wasn't that before he was born?
No, I don't think so.
He's dead now, isn't he? Is he dead?
What do they say? When you're dead, you don't know you're dead, but everyone else knows you're dead.
Same as when you're stupid.
It's same. You don't know. Everyone else knows. Everybody.
You think you're smart.
Hey, that James West guy. You know.
He thinks he knows a thing or two. What an idiot.
Yeah.
He's so dumb, he doesn't even realize how dumb he is.
Thank you, Benny. No, thank you, Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais came up with that?
I think so.
I thought it was John Cleese. I first heard John Cleese.
You know
say
what?
that.
You know what? The truth is, it's the same fucking joke 100 times.
Exactly. It's
they
got to be told by somebody who's living in your context.
different spin.
Probably Groucho
Yeah.
Marx came up with that the first time. Or who was the first real comedian among the Greek ascetics? Like Plato said some pretty funny shit.
You know, apparently they say that Socrates said when they decided to poison him with hemlock, he said, thanks for determining my fate. They said they're going to poison the guy. He said, whew, now I know it's
What,
going to
they
end.
told him before they poisoned him?
Well, yeah, I think.
They didn't slip him the mix?
No, that was his sentence.
It was sentence.
Yeah,
For being
because
too much of a smartass?
like he knew too much.
You knew a penalty for knowledge is death.
Well,
that's a biblical sort of lesson as well. Maybe
Ignorance is
that's
bliss.
why that is out there in the
Right.
in the literary lexicon.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like people who
Yeah.
know too much get offed. So you don't want to know too much. You want to basically
yeah,
whatever
Yeah.
they want you to think. That's what you should say you believe.
yeah. They're not coming after you if you're herding sheep. Like,
That's why I'm back here on the farm. And why, you know what? The other thing about being out here in the country is you know less. Because nothing happens in the country.
yeah.
So your risk
And
of
you
getting-
know, growing up on a small farm, but when there was trouble, or you needed help,
the wolves were at the door.
not the wolves, but like let's say, tractor broke down, farmer come over, give you this tractor. Like it was a very sharing community.
Oh, yeah.
people
You
are,
look after
and you
your
say, well,
brothers.
I want to pay him for that. I'm going to have a problem. You come over and help me.
Right.
You know that we saw that. I saw that, and they seem much calmer. I mean, city life has got to be where all the shit is, right?
Yeah.
The proximity to people makes people crazy. I think.
Yeah,
And
well,
maybe we're seeing it in the virus world.
Yeah. I watched another TikTok where the guy said that he said that welcome to my life in the largest, the greatest, the biggest, the most horrible open air prison on earth, the city of Toronto. And he was basically saying,
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
my day. I'm locked in my apartment. I can't go out and do anything. I wait till I don't see anybody on the street to go for a walk. Here I am making some money I need to make money because just to pay the rent in perpetuity. And it was totally depressing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Anyways,
okay.
so we were talking about the price of gold here. So here's 1 year ago. We're basically trading in a very, you could say that this is the average price of the last year, where we're at right now.
It looks like we're dead right in the middle.
So let's go 5 years back, because I think we're still going to be, okay, so 5 years, this is where gold broke out in August 2020. Oh no,
See
what
that?
do we got here? Double top.
I don't think so.
Double top, but this is 2010.
Yeah, except that tops through it, and we're moving sideways. I don't know. I think we got another leg here coming.
What we're seeing here is the typical technical sign of a major reversal in trend since September, higher highs and higher lows, as demonstrated by this pattern here. So, if you look at this in the context of the last 10 years, now this definitely looks like a move into new high territory, right? Because this is unprecedented area right here. This has been consolidation since 2020 in this new reality of gold's price prior to a move higher.
I would just say this: a few months ago, back in here, back in here.
Wait,
it tried. It
use this cursor, eh?
Okay. Oh, I thought you were only you could use it. Apparently, there's this rule. That only you.
No.
Oh, whoa.
Where do you want it?
Am I going to be the big?
Only I can touch it.
I'm the big boy. Oh, look. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. You see? You pull the power.
Only I can use it.
You pull the power.
No.
You pull the power.
Okay. You got to have the power.
Give me the.
You want to try again?
Give me the power.
I'll give you the power.
Okay, there you go.
You
Okay.
got the power.
Okay. So we saw this, but look at this is the big move here, right? This move which took
That was
over.
the last big move.
Yeah. This is a digestion of that move.
Yeah,
and I think
consolidation.
moving to the right.
Yeah.
We may be a bit early here. I don't want to say that's not the move. It could be, but it tried it here, and it failed.
Yeah.
But now we didn't go as low here, so this is intact.
Okay.
Okay. So you could be right, but I think we're only going to know only after some time.
Well, what has changed since the last time it tried to reach new highs? What is different now
The
versus
date.
then?
The date.
You're a smart son of a bitch, aren't you? I'm going to give you some hemlock cookies.
You give me whatever you want.
You're going to have
the date
you're
has
gonna
changed.
determine your
You know
fate.
what? The date has changed. Not only that.
No, but what else?
I
We
will
don't
co-
have stimulus this time around. Stimulus is going the other way. Stimulus is being withdrawn, and interest rates are going the other way. So, as you pointed out, higher interest rates are not the friend of gold. Typically,
No. I won't say gold. I say the friend of real estate for sure,
Right.
and the friend of margin. But
Right.
ultimately, gold is going to go the same way because they won't be able to stop gold. That's what I think.
well,
Just saying.
gold is. So that's what I'm saying. Absent stimulus, which gives people the financial incentive to consider other asset classes. Gold is a safe haven asset in a time of deteriorating certainty, to say the least. At least historically, that's the case.
I think you could be right. I'm just cautioning that it may be not this time. Maybe
Right.
you know what? I'm being a little bit less.
I want to talk to you for a second, switching gears here, about one of
What's-
our,
what-
one
you're
of
gonna
our
s-
sponsors.
You're not going to put it in reverse.
No. Gold?
Switch gears.
Yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
one of our sponsors is NuRan Wireless. Yeah.
Okay.
NuRan Wireless came out and announced that they had signed a deal for $15 million bank financing in DRC for their projects. And NuRan has like a total of 5,000 sites identified where they expect to place their wireless solar-powered stations in partnership with Orange and the Spacecom. So the fact that they have achieved this this financing, and it's a secured facility with a local bank in Africa that is now going to put in 15 million, and so they're basically on track to install $30 million worth of equipment. And this is significant because basically they're not going to have to dilute in the marketplace. They're not going to need to raise funds from capital markets to finance the construction of these revenue generating prospects. So my point is that the next increase in revenue in the financials is not going to cost shareholders more dilution. And that in and of itself implies a higher valuation if the company, if not the stock. And because we are option holders in this company at $1.70 on 250,000 shares, if it goes beyond $1.70, we start to make money. But until then, they don't give us any cash.
No.
And so, but we have to disclose that we are biased. We want the stock to go higher. We prefer it to go a lot higher than $1.70. And in fact, the reason I agreed to do this contract is
Because you think it's going a lot higher than
so it does
$1.70.
go. In fact, but I do have to disclose that we actually did get paid some cash to help build our creative assets, $50,000 across 6 months.
Really?
Yes, but that is all going out the door in costs. That's not anybody making any profit. So correction there. We did receive some cash. It's from Boxster. We didn't receive any cash. Anyways, the point is that they now have the money to continue to build it. And so the revenue is only going to go higher. And anyways, Francis, we're going to replay the Francis Letourneau interview, the CEO, right now because it's significant.
Okay.
And here's Francis to tell you what he thinks. Welcome back, everybody. Francis Letourneau joins me now, CEO of NuRan Wireless Inc. Francis, welcome back.
Good afternoon, James. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing in this frosty weather?
Pretty cold out there, so I'll stay inside working on our business, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Francis, last week, January 6th, your company announced that you had signed an agreement for a $15 million senior credit facility for financing for the Cameroon and DRC projects. Now, so that suggests to me that you've got all the money you need to build everything you plan to on a loan basis. So tell us about the agreement and what that really means in terms of the value for the shareholders in NuRan.
Wow, this we can talk forever about these couple of topics. So actually, the cool thing about that is that the 30 million package financing that we're talking about, there's 15 covered already, but we wouldn't announce 15 million if it was not that almost all of it is secured. So we will follow on with other announcement on that regards. The other thing is that most of it will be done through debt. There might be an equity stake in there, but the equity will come at the African holding level. I'll tell you more about that in a few seconds. But it could come as well with the debt package because we are talking to a third player that might come as debt in a junior position compared to the first two. So bottom line, the announcement is quite the catalyst for the company. It just tick all boxes of the company. Contracts, execution, financing, execution, revenue. So this is what the company is all about. Now talking about the raising potential equity at the NURan African level, compared to a publicly listed company, when you are in a in the private domain, you value your company differently. And just based on the current projection of revenue of DRC and Cameroon only, we are above $100 million company valuation just for these two contracts. So if you take these two and you bring an equity player, for example, and if your company is valued at 100K, let's just take 100K as an example, it's a little bit more than that. If you bring 10 million worth of equity in the African holdco, it means 10% of the company. Whereas if you bring 10 million as public equity in Canada, it will be way more than that because we're currently trading with a market valuation at $44 million. So you see that the impact of a bigger raise in the African holdco has a lesser impact on the dilution. And the type of players with whom we are talking to are really global development-oriented type fund. So the equity player, if equity player is, because we have we have 21 people or 21 organizations with whom we are discussing for future debt as well as equity on that one. But when they bring that equity, it will be for lesser valuation compared to this. And we would like to probably bring a little bit more to ignite the South Sudan, ignite all the upcoming ones. So we want to be able to kickstart the project while we are completing all the financing. So sorry to make it a long explanation or a long answer to your question, but I think it deserves more thought. And actually, we'll be coming with a little bit more corporate updates and everything on those aspects, which are extremely important.
Sure. So then NuRan today at current prices has a market cap of 44 million-ish, give or take. And you've got your subsidiaries with the valuation in total using discounted cash flow methodologies of 130 million-ish. And so that strikes me as, with full disclosure and caveated with the idea that we are in the service of NuRan Wireless to communicate these things. And we stand to profit if the share price goes up. I just feel I want to throw that in there to stay on the right side of white with the regulators. But that strikes me as rather an opportunity for investors because at some point the valuation of the public company is going to catch up to the valuations of its subsidiaries, especially once the revenue starts to flow according to the projections.
Exact. Of course, you might see a big ramp up there. At some point, is our valuation today to the level it should be? The answer is no, but yes, sometimes it will match up and go up because we're not including South Sudan in the current $100+ million valuation I told you about, and we will be adding more of those contracts moving forward. So bottom line, we are extremely well positioned. We're executing. We will tick all boxes of ENG as investment as well. So you touch a few points about this earlier in published documentation you've done. So we are starting our ESG rating process. So that might bring additional investors. So bottom line, we're on the verge of creating something big with NuRan for our shareholders, James.
Sure. Let's talk about the ESG aspect for a minute. So environmental, social, governance are the three letters of the anagram there. Tell me about each of those sections of an ESG investment that NuRan complies with.
Yeah, so for first environmental, we run on green energy, so solar panel, batteries, all green, carbon footprint, really low carbon footprint energy. We tied it up to the orange objective of lowest carbon footprint. Social, it's all about the social aspect, what we're doing. So we're bringing connectivity for inhabitants for the first time, allowing them to be part of the global economy, be connected to the rest of the world, having access to e-health, e-finance, everything. So this is a major impact that we're having. Governance, of course, anti-bribery, anti-corruption, anti-everything. We comply to everything. And every single contract we have with those oranges or MTN, there's a specific aspect about this. So we tick all boxes according to the discussion we've been having with the different consultants. It should be pretty easy to get a pretty high rating in terms of ESG. And this is highly demanded by the development banks with whom we are talking to at this stage. So we have to have our ESG rating extremely soon there.
Right. So then that's great. So what are the next steps for NuRan in Africa, and what other opportunities are you developing outside of Africa?
So for Africa, of course, it will be execution. We will complete the financing for the 30 million. That could pave the way to have 1,000 sites built in Cameroon and DRC. Just the cash that will be generated from those operations could lead us to complete the build of the 2,000 site of DRC. But because we want to go faster, we will probably bring some more debt in the equation just to run faster and to get more revenue in faster, because the appetite from a development bank's perspective is there. People wants to see us deploying and connecting Africa way faster than what it is. But this is Africa. The next one for us is Latin America, James. So I've been discussing about this. I think we touched a word on those a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. So Latin America is next. The team are working hard to get connected to the different mobile network operator. We would like to go because it was all about 3G and 4G for Latin America. Still 2G would be basic service, but we need to bring 3G in the equation. So it was FutureCom a couple of months ago. We've connected with some large groups, Claro, Vivo, Telefonica, and so forth. So we're progressing in terms of discussion with them. So we might see LATAM hitting our pipeline sooner than later. We were expecting LATAM for 2023. Now I think that we could probably aim to get something to sign probably in 2022. So fingers crossed on this time. But this is prospective, as you know. So this is next on our list, and of course, deploying, seeing the revenue and talking about revenue, James. I was just running reports, and we will be reporting on that this week. But the 30 plus site that we have ongoing in Cameroon are doing extremely well. You know that part of the 10-year contract, we have a couple of years where we charge a minimum guaranteed amount. And in our financial model, we were expecting that minimum guaranteed amount for the first few quarters, from 6 to 8 quarters, to have only the minimum guaranteed amount. We have 15 that are overachieving on those numbers. So we will be billing more than the minimum guaranteed amount at this stage. And all of that with a above 35, 36% penetration rate. So we are achieving extremely good numbers in Cameroon. The team is working well on the ground. They're connecting site after site. So this morning we have connected our 34th site, and I think there's 3 probably lined up for today. Going for 37. So everything looks promising from a Cameroonese point of view. DRC, we will get those numbers coming soon. So we will see if we are achieving as good as Cameroon. But just based on what I'm seeing, we might be in a really different position than what we thought of at the beginning when we were thinking about $20,000 per site per year. For Cameroon, we're way above that in terms of projected revenue, just based on the first 3 months of usage, which is great achievement. Our CFO, Jim Bailey, is quite happy because due to the gross margin and EBITDA, it will be a cash generating business.
All right, perfect. Well, that's a great update. Thank you very much, Francis. We'll come back to you in due course. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye for now. Yeah, so there you have it. NuRan looking stronger and stronger as time continues. Trading a little sideways here.
Yeah.
But, you know, this should give them the impetus to create some solid revenue.
You'll see it in the quarterly reports.
Watch the financials. Don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least read the financials.
Yeah.
You can watch them if you want.
Now
but
let's talk about our other major sponsor, Boxster. We have options on 1 million shares at $1.15. So we're not in the money. We have received no cash fees to help us build our content for them. So this is strictly a labor of love, and currently trading at $1.06. This is consistent with the pattern, though. They come out, they announce their financials. What happens? Stock goes higher, then it drifts off until the next financials. Don't forget, the breakthrough quarter, as telegraphed by management, is going to be Q1 2022, which is going to be reported in May 2022.
that's for the period ending March 31st.
Yeah, exactly. End of the first quarter, their fiscal is calendar, so there you have it.
Okay.
Yeah. So again,
right.
Boxster, we're conflicted. We have an interest in the stock going higher, and so therefore anything we say should be considered in the context of advertising sponsored by the company. So that being said, I'm fully expecting Boxster to continue this trajectory of growth. Revenue has been reported, has been double-digit growth on every quarter for the last 6, I believe, in a row. And so that pattern is intact. Let's talk about the price of oil, Ed.
Jesus.
Now, you said, interestingly enough, that the market gets jumpy when the price of oil tends to go higher.
And it has to go higher quickly, sort of unexpectedly. Like we
unexpectedly.
Like we just saw a few months ago, they were talking about oil shot up to 83. I thought, geez, it's getting up there really quickly. This is a few months ago. This is what, 60 some bucks here? Look at this. Look at this, $80 some, and people are talking. That's when they released the petroleum. Remember Biden said, "Hey, we're going to do.
We're going to take some petroleum out.
We're going to
release
1 or 2 days of oil, so you guys don't freeze to death.
What
You
does the price
saps.
at the pump do?
The saps don't freeze. They don't want the saps.
Don't want the sap to freeze.
No,
in the trees.
no, the saps.
You're not going to get any maple syrup.
And here we are back to 81 to 80. Look, and a lot of like I think one of the big basins, one of the major companies, reversed all their hedges.
Yeah.
And you know who wrote it? Zero Hedge, and said zero hedge
Tyler Durden.
No, this oil company is now zero hedged. Zero Hedge is reporting that the company is zero hedged.
So did they disclose a conflict?
I don't know.
Zero hedge, yeah. Zero hedge can be a bit tin hat.
Obtuse?
Yeah. Used to be really good. I find they let any whack job publish on there now.
We got to watch oil. We got to watch copper.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's my holdings currently. I actually don't have, this is the parent company.
Wow.
This is,
Did you say Parrot company?
Parent company. So this was the largest SPAC merged cannabis deal in the history of the cannabis industry in the United States.
When did that, how long ago?
This was Jay-Z's deal. Now, Jay-Z
Whoa.
clearly doesn't care about
He doesn't own it. He's got no money in it.
Loser.
He's got no money in it. Not his money.
Well, I don't know. Supposedly his brands are all up in this shit, and look at this thing. I don't see it doing much for the company.
Well, it's starting to, it's as it gets close to zero, it's flattening out.
Well,
oh, Jesus.
But no, I don't own this. Actually,
how long ago was that? Is that 6 months or?
That's February 2021.
February 21, a year ago.
Yeah.
Year ago.
So we started talking about it in here and did this. That's when we got all excited about it. Then since then it's done that. So
yeah.
We're no longer excited about it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people see they use that, they get the high profile sponsor.
Jeez.
And I mean, this guy's apparently a billionaire, right?
Yeah, but clearly not on this stock.
Well,
maybe he's the seller.
Well, maybe
he's blowing out his paper. Maybe he's going to get sued next for.
Yeah. You just wonder.
Mind you, he didn't endorse this company, but I guess giving them your top branded weed is an endorsement of sorts.
Do you think Jay-Z smokes the reefer?
Oh, dude. Come on.
There's probably lots of people that smoke the reefer.
So here's U.S. copper. Copper broke out and went to 485. Stock shot up to 36 cents.
Right.
You might say, that's nothing. 36 cents. It's still a penny stock. Yeah, but before that,
put up a 20.
5 and 2 cents even down here. 3 cents. Remember this? Back in January 2020.
Oh.
So this is copper here at 450. So does it stand to reason that if copper goes through its old high of 480, which when copper was 480, this is what U.S. copper did. Is this what's going to happen? If it blows through 480, are we going to see U.S. copper? That would be a 400%.
I don't try to make direct. I don't say if this happens, then this is going to happen.
You don't believe in direct correlation?
Well, there is some direct correlation, but this they got the asset. I say when copper breaks through 5 on its way to 8, people are going to realize we got a serious problem in the world with copper. If you need copper, it's just something you just can't go.
But just because copper goes to $6 doesn't mean a company like U.S. Copper is going to be able to put their copper mine into production.
No, but somebody will say, hey, we'll buy it off you and we'll put it into production. They can't put it into production. And that's one of the problems. It's that they're not trying to make it look more attractive than what it already is.
Well,
they tried. They drilled some holes and we had a fire.
There's no promotion going on, that's for sure.
Right, not a hell of a lot right now. Anyway,
no.
but look.
So full disclosure, I own 780,000 shares of this, and the company extended an option from 2017.
Jeez.
They sent me a note that they're extending the option. The option's at 12 cents. Thanks, guys.
You know what? And there are so many companies. If you would have picked, Copper Mountain, for instance. Copper Mountain was 25, 30 cents a share. A producer losing tons of money. Now it's $3.70 a share.
Yeah,
and
we're going to have a special this week on the weekly show where we're going to look at all of the junior companies that are in the copper space, and we're going to see which ones have the best beta to the copper price in the last run-up.
Yeah, and there's probably 15, 20 companies, right?
Yeah.
And
so we're going to take a look.
Let's take a look at them, and maybe we should start telling them to maybe, well, you buy U.S. copper here. We got a real deal. Hey,
to put us out of our misery.
You know what? Why can't we say, hey, you want copper?
Well,
there's 2 billion pounds sitting right there.
You have to pay for this thing. I mean, what if you offered the thing at a 20% premium to market?
No. You say, look, you give me 20 cents today, all day long. Take all my stock.
20% premium to market.
20 cents. 20 cents. I say.
That's
3 times.
I want 300. Yeah. Anyways, we are going to leave it there for now. That's our show for this week, and
Have we said enough?
we've said enough. So we'll see you next week, we hope.
So long.
Sayonara.